we're going to talk about housebreaking tonight. And to me, it's like a no-brainer. It's such an easy thing for me to do, but I realize a lot of people have a hard time with housebreaking. And I think one of the crucial things that you need to realize is to going to successfully housebreak your dog, you have to supervise the puppy all the time. You cannot leave him in the laundry room or leave him in the kitchen blocked off and think that that's going to do it. It just doesn't work. You have to take the puppy in and out many, many times. And I think a crate like these that you're going to see here on the floor are really great. Two basic styles. The plastic variety is really nice. If you're going to travel and you're going to have to fly a dog, you can fly him in a plastic crate. It's safe, it's enclosed. For a shy dog, this would probably be a really nice thing to use. If you want lots of ventilation, or if you want one that you can break down pretty easily to take in the car, the wire crate would be a good choice. When you have a crate and you're going to put a towel in it, I kind of vary on this a lot. Some dogs can do a towel or a rug or a bed and they're okay. Usually they just end up chewing on it, especially as puppies. Don't use something like this, because if you do, this is prime material for a puppy to chew on and cause some intestinal blockage. So I would not use a rug like this. If they're a little bit older and they're not going to chew on something, fine, put something in here. Otherwise, what can happen with that is that you put it in there, and if the puppy pees in it, it absorbs it, and then the puppy doesn't mind. Now, the whole idea of a crate is it fulfills the dog's denning instinct. They like to get in someplace really small where it's safe, where nobody can hurt them, and they feel protected. So if a mother dog has her puppies out in the wild, she's going to find a hole someplace. They're going to go underneath a porch, in a shed, someplace like that to have those puppies. So this is that whole den instinct that this fulfills. But it only needs to be big enough for the puppy to stand up, turn around, and lay down. He does not get to set up light housekeeping. So for a lot of these little guys, this is too big a crate. So if you're going to look at a puppy, say, this size, this would be the maximum size of a crate that you would want to put the puppy in. You wouldn't want something very big, because he could pee and poop in one end and sleep in the other end, and that would defeat your purpose. So let's do an example of how to put a puppy in a crate. Oh, who shall I borrow? Let me have Bud. Come here, Bud. You want to go in the kennel, Bud? What's up, Bud? You want the crate to be a really nice place. So you can put him in the kennel. Hi, Bud. Kennel. Dad, a good puppy. Shut the door. Praise him. Tell him he's a good puppy. Now, the first few times, you may put him in, take him out, put him in, take him out to get him used to it. You can give him treats in the crate, let him know it's a good place to be. My favorite thing to do if he fusses is to have towels draped over the crate. So if he fusses too much, I can come up and I can smack the crate. So I wouldn't want to do it where he could see me, but I would smack it on top like that. Or take your throw can, throw the can close to, down on the floor next to it so it makes a loud noise so it scares him. Just enough to keep him quiet. Once he's quiet, then if you want to take him out of the crate, then that's a good time to do it. You don't want to take him out of the crate while he's fussing, because if he fusses and you take him out of the crate, what's he going to do whenever he wants out of his crate? He's going to fuss. That's right, and they learn that very quickly. Talk about kind of scheduling. What you want to do basically, get up in the morning, first thing, get the puppy outside. Maybe have the puppy's crate next to the door is a good idea if you got a real young puppy. Get them outside. They're going to pee. They're going to poop. They're going to run around and play. You may want to feed and water them then. You may want to do it outside. And then they're probably going to pee again and maybe poop again. So it's pretty normal for a puppy to pee and poop. Gosh, he may pee 2 or 3 times and he may poop once or twice first thing in the morning. That's not unusual. Then you can bring him inside for maybe 10 minutes of free time. Gradually build that up to maybe a half an hour. Then put him back in the crate. Hour, 2, depends upon the age of the dog. Gradually make it longer and longer. Get him out again. Repeat the process. Go out, pee, play, poop. Maybe have a little bit to eat or whatever. And just keep repeating that process. If you have any accidents, what's going on is you are leaving the dog out too long. That's your fault, not the puppy's fault. So make sure that that puppy goes to the bathroom and that you watch him like a hawk, and then you put him back in the crate when you can't watch him any longer. So it's not hard. You just got to do it over and over and over again. All right, questions on housebreaking? All right.
I am planning on getting a crate. We have a small crate right now, and she's rapidly outgrowing it. So I'm going to get a big enough one for her to grow into, and I'm going to get one with a partition. The problem is, how do I know how big to get it? Because all dogs grow different sizes, and do I get one for her to be tall enough where her head doesn't touch when she's standing up?
Yes. For a golden retriever, it will tell you like how many pounds, and you want the size, it's, I'm guessing, up to 90 pounds, which is usually considered an extra large in many companies. So it will say, it will give you listings of different breeds on the box. Okay. Up to 9 pounds, because my friends just bought a golden retriever puppy, and that's what we got, was an extra large up to 90 pounds. So it's going to be, you know, like this wide, about that long, and about that tall.
Yeah, that was my question, because
it's 48 inches long.
I read that golden retrievers get up to 75 pounds, but then the height is a lot taller than the...
I think the ones that are like 48 inches long is the size that you would need. And just partition it off so that he just has room enough to sleep, and then gradually move it back. And that works really well.
All right.
Good. What other questions do we have on housebreaking? Is anybody having any housebreaking problems?
He wants to go outside and play instead of do his business, and then I walk around for half an hour out in the yard.
Okay. I actually read in a book someplace that when you take him to the bathroom, you go, hurry, hurry, hurry. And so they learn when they really got to go to the bathroom, you're saying hurry, hurry. So he associates that word with going to the bathroom. What I do is I take them out for what I think is a reasonable amount of time, but they haven't gone, I put them back in the crate and leave them in the crate for another half an hour, hour, depending upon the age of the dog, and then try it again.
Can I let them sleep on the bed at night, even if they're holding it?
No, absolutely no way. If you're letting the dog sleep on the bed at night, what you're doing is allowing them to be alpha. And if they are alpha, then they're going to be on the same level with you, and as a result, they were not going to listen to you later on. So probably the biggest thing I see with problems in dogs, if I look, they're all letting their dogs sleep on beds. So I would say no, not unless you're exceptionally good.
What about the dog throws a complete fit and you cannot shut it up?
Put in earplugs. No, what you can do is like you can do the throw can at the crate. You can throw pans at the crate. Make sure you've got something over it so the dog doesn't know that you're throwing it.
Completely covered.
Completely covered. So the dog does not realize you are the one doing it. So don't go, shut up, and then throw the can. Just have it covered, throw the can, bang on top of it, and walk away. Because if he throws a fit and you let him out, you're done. It's just, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Mine's, like I said, that, you know, just thinking when you're home and you don't think you need to crate them as much and stuff, and you're there, you know, but it worked a lot better still to get him crated and taught him to hold it.
That's a common fallacy, is that people think if I'm home,
Yeah.
then I can just let the dog in and out as often as I want. And you suddenly become a slave to your dog, and he's not learning to hold it.
Yeah.
And plus, by putting them in and out of the crate, you're adding a lot of structure to their lives. And you are the one providing, so there again it elevates your status. So they need to be in crate for several hours at a time, even though you are home, because your life does not have to revolve around that dog.
How long can a young puppy this age stay in the crate? Like, because I work.
It really depends upon the age of the dog, but like how old? Like 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 3 months?
Right.
3 months, you could probably get at least 4 hours. And I've seen 4-month-old puppies and 3-month-old puppies, you know, go all night. So you might be able to get 8 hours out of them, but at least 4, I would think. I think a common rule is an hour for every month old they are. So 3 months, they could stay 3 hours. But I've seen most puppies be able to handle it much longer than that.
So I shouldn't feel guilty.
No, do not feel guilty. And really try to avoid ever letting your dog go to the bathroom in the house, Because if they, wherever they pee at, they look around and go, oh, I'm peeing and I'm in the house. They're not necessarily looking down and going, oh, it's a wee-wee pad. Okay, so I've seen a lot of housebreaking problems come from people who started on the wee-wee pads or whatever those things are, and then they try and move them outside. And the dog has a hard time making that transition. Now, I know there are extenuating circumstances, like in Minnesota, where the snow is really tall, really high or whatever. So there are exceptions to that rule, but generally speaking, I try and avoid that as much as possible.